Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for London Clubs Carnage, your weekly dosage of chaos. And it must be consumed with the cast and crew, the panel, everybody back together. One big happy family for nothing but problems this weekend for most of us, apart from somebody who's grinning in the top right corner of the screen. I'm going to start with you, sir. Lawless, I've never seen you so happy this season, bro.
Boy, this is about to be the best episode of London Clubs Carnage in history. In history. The shit that I've had to endure on this show all season, I cannot wait. Oh my God. I was talking to some Arsenal fans who watched the show and was like, oh, you're going to be cooking Tobs and that. I said, I'm just cooking Tobs, cooking everyone. Everyone's getting it. Everyone is getting it. So strap yourselves in. It's going to be a good one.
Tobs, welcome back. It's good to have you back, bro. I saw your review. I feel like me and you are in the same shit right now. Obviously, I'm in much worse shit, but you said it was more embarrassing what happened to you guys over the weekend than what's been happening to us in certain games. How are you feeling?
Dejected. I just want the season to be over and done with, to be honest, at this point. Just end the season, honestly. Yeah.
The season's just getting started. What do you mean? Like, let's have an extension. Season starts here. The season starts here.
And you're talking about the season starts here. Surely you want the season to be over as well?
No, but it's now it's started.
Wow.
He's changed his profile to a Moyes profile pic on Twitter.
I was talking about the profile.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
We will.
Pots,
Christ.
how are you doing, bro? Two games in a row, 2 goal leads slipping. How are we feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm not good, man. Not gonna lie. The football didn't help. I actually had a really shocking day yesterday, which I explained offline to you, and I won't go into and bore you all again. But I was about as sick as my football team was, bro. Massive shame, man. Massive shame. But it's not over, but it's looking very, very tough. But we shall see, man. I'm looking forward to this one because I just want to know how Shameless. Hopefully not 2 of you are, but 1 of you are. So let's see. Let's see.
Well, before I open it to the floor, I mean, I think Lawless is gonna take over very soon. But does everybody feel like this is a definitive result in the title race? This is a moment where the pendulum kind of swings Man City's way, and this is where Arsenal start to maybe crumble. I'm not saying capitulate, but this is the warning sign that it's probably going to go the way everybody maybe thought it would in terms of the favourites.
I think I don't want to say they're crumbling yet. I mean, to be fair, they've bottled their last 2 games, in my opinion. But the Liverpool one, I can give them a blind because that's Anfield, and the pressure that they faced in the second half, most teams would be celebrating. Most teams would be celebrating getting a point the way Lawless is celebrating his 2-2 win right now. So I can allow them for that. But this one against the West Ham side fighting relegation, who haven't really scored that many goals this season, and West Ham were good value for their draw as well. That's a bottle. That's a bottling. Like, they've bottled that game. But can you say that like they've completely crumbled? No, I don't think you can, because in the end of the day, they're still unbeaten in what, like nine games. They haven't lost since that Man City defeat. They're still top of the league. Even if Man City win their game in hand, they'd still be top of the league as well. So they're still in the race. They're still in the driving seat. It's still in their hands. So I wouldn't say they've crumbled yet, but it's coming.
It's coming. Also in Man City's hands. It is equally in Man City's hands. That is the turning point. And it feels like you said, they're still, you can't say that out of it is done. You can't say any of that because it's football. And as we saw yesterday, anything can happen in football. So, but it feels like there's a feeling around this that something's turning, something's changing. You know what I mean? And this could be the moment where they let it slip like Stevie G.
I was speaking about this morning with Robbie, and he didn't like the term bottling because he felt like that's yeah.
Why,
he was angry.
Yeah. And that's why I called him. I said this to him on WhatsApp. He's a hypocrite. I said, yo, why don't you like the term bottling? Because you'll use it happily when it's other teams, but when it's Arsenal, you don't like the word. So what else would you call being 2-0 up with a chance to go 3-1 up and you end the game 2-2? What would you call that against a team that you're significantly better than this season? What would you call that? Ox, what would you call that? You call that bottle.
I like Robbie. In fact, I love Robbie. He's my guy. But I don't understand where he was going there, man. We've bottled it big time. There's no other word for it. I don't know what you call it if it's not bottling. What do you call it? Like thrown away? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, whatever. I don't like the term bottle either, but this doesn't mean it ain't something that we didn't do. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. 2 games in a row now. We've been 2-0 up. And like Tobs said, against Liverpool, it can happen at Anfield. But this is a poor side. And yesterday we made them look good in the second half. I actually go as far to say that I actually think we played football for about 10 minutes. And once we won 2-0, it was like, right, let's talk about Southampton on Friday now. And you can't do that. And I think what frustrated me the most actually was the fact that we gave them a way into the game. Which, when Liverpool, it was like, you could say it was bad defending, but there was moments in the game where you thought, Arsenal lapse of concentration or whatever it be. This was actually shockingly bad. Partey's trying to flick the ball over a man's head. Like, just keep it simple. What are you doing? Like, if he's handballed it, fair play. You can scream and cry about that if you really want to. But for me, I don't give a fuck if he's handballed it or not. Partey should not be doing that. And then Gabriel, I love him, but he is a head case sometimes. Sliding in on his knees, trying to pull out. You've committed, my friend. You cannot pull out now. You've committed. People can say it's diving if you want. Yeah, Paqueta's gone down like he's been shot, but he's taking him out. So let him back into it, and then still we could have it. And this is why I disagree with what Robbie's saying about how we didn't bottle it, because we had a penalty and we missed it. And I'm not going to blame. And can I just say, by the way, talking serious for a minute, whoever it is that is actually abusing this kid, can you please just fuck off, delete your accounts and remove yourself from this world? Because that's twice now that this guy's missed a penalty and been racially abused.
Yeah.
This is absolutely disgusting.
I only just saw that a couple of hours ago. I couldn't believe it.
The video was a disgrace.
It's absolutely disgusting, man. To do that to a kid.
Seen it.
Listen, he had the Harry Kane moment, right? Harry Kane doesn't get it, does he? Yeah, Harry Kane gets told, you bottled it. That's it. He doesn't get any personal abuse. The minute that Bukayo Saka does anything wrong, because he's star boy and everyone hates Arsenal, they want to pile on him because of the colour of his skin. I'm done with it, man. Remove yourself from this world. Stay away from social media. And if anyone is caught with it, they have to do something about these people. Apparently, some of them are Arsenal fans.
They need to be arrested.
Get rid of them. They're scumbags. Anyway, I don't want to get into the politics thing, man. For me, it was deserved. I thought the game in parts was really poor from Arsenal. And I have to say it, and people are going to jump on me and say, lay off the manager. It's not the manager's fault. He's amazing. Because Arsenal fans cry anytime you mention him. But he got it completely wrong in terms of the subs. He's taken Jesus off. He took Erdegaard off. He brought Fabio Vieira on at left back for Kieran Tierney. What was actually going on there? I don't understand anything the guy was doing, but you're not allowed to say it. He left Saka on, who was a mess.
Didn't get that.
Has been for a long time. Last two, he had to come off. He had to come off, man. And I'm sorry, like Arteta has been unreal. He shut me and a lot of people up this season. He shut a lot of his believers up. He shut up a lot of his doubters. Because even his believers didn't think we'd be in a title race if they all thought that we were going in the right direction for a Champions League place. Listen, man, like he got it wrong, and sometimes you got to hold that. I thought I could just about stick up for him in the Anfield one. I didn't understand why he left Zinchenko on for too long, but apart from that, I didn't really care for the other subs. But this one was mad, like for me, absolutely mad. So, yeah, fair play to West Ham. The board were correct to keep David Moyes. Obviously, the West Ham fans are happy now that they can keep him, and he's not going to have a risk of getting sacked. So that's good. And then when they win the Conference League. When they win, you can when I'm finished. When you win the Conference League, literally you go down in one of the history of the best ever West Ham manager. So fair play to the board. I hope that all the fan base are now on side with what West Ham and David Moyes are doing. And I don't want to hear Moyes out anymore.
I'm glad you didn't stop that, because that waffle was truly worth listening to. Do you know what I mean? But I just want you to answer me one question: are you Tottenham in disguise? Are you Tottenham in disguise? Because that's what your fans were singing to us. Yeah, when you were 2-0 up. Are you Tottenham in disguise? And now who's Tottenham in disguise, eh? Let How does that taste?
Well, it's not.
How does that taste?
Well, it's not really Tottenham in disguise when we're sitting top of the league and Tottenham are down in, where are they? Are they sixth, fifth, sixth? I don't know. So we're okay. We didn't lose 3-2 like they did. So let's not cry and compare ourselves.
You nearly did.
Yeah, and you nearly lost 3-2 as well. So let's just calm, yeah? It's 2-2.
Well, listen.
It was a win for you and a draw for us, yeah? It was a win for you and a draw for us. That's the way you got to see this. We were very excited. Very, very excitable. Couldn't calm him down. It was like a little puppy like that you just brought home to your kids. It was amazing.
You listen.
And by the way, let's talk on it. Let's talk on the fact that your Twitter profile picture is now a picture of the guy that you wanted sacked all season. And now all of a sudden, this absolute shameless Lawless guy comes and puts him as a profile picture on his Twitter account and starts bigging him up. Absolute embarrassment. Shameless.
How? Listen. One thing everyone will know about me: I'm a man of my word. Before the game, I spoke to someone. Shout out West Ham Online, who loves. He calls it Mr. Moyes. He puts this picture ever on Twitter, right? And I said, look, if we get something out of this game, I'll put that as my profile picture. I said that, yeah. I didn't think it would happen. It happened, and guess what? I'm a man of my word. It's still Moyes out, but I give credit where credit is due. And
it's not Moyes out. You've put a picture of him on your profile. You're done now. Don't ever say you want him out again.
Oh,
you're celebrating a draw. You love him. You love him now. He's your profile picture.
Yeah, he's going to win the Europa League. He's going to win the Europa League. He's going to win
the Conference League, then the Europa League. No, he's going to win the Conference League, then the Europa League next year, and then he'll be known as the. If he wins the Conference League, and Lawless still wants him out, he's done out here, man. Because he's got them to a European semi-final and won the Conference League, and this guy wants him out.
Can I? I'm going to play devil's advocate though, because I don't want Lawless to be on his own on this one.
No, you don't have to, Matisse.
I know Tobs ain't going to take his side, right? But if
Tobs was taking his side yesterday.
If West Ham are the ones that you have to look back on that prevented you from a title, and you end up trophyless this season, because the Liverpool one we can make a legislation for that. You know what I mean? But for West Ham to be 2-0 up, and like you said, you were dominating 10 minutes, you wiped the floor of them. But then West Ham come back and peg you back and derail your title run a little bit here. And of course, the Man City game's coming up. Newcastle's coming up away from home, but those are tough games. This is a game that everybody expected you guys to win. And if Lawless is sitting there at the end of the season with you guys really hurt and distraught about finishing second, it doesn't change the fact that it's a great season for your team in terms of the league. But you guys said that you're frying the bigger fish. And right now, this fish needs frying, because if you have exited all the competitions to come and draw to West Ham and to drop points in the future games as well, and to just be the nearly team to Manchester City, which is again above expectations, but this season you'll have nothing to show for it apart from a nice little highlight reel of Saka goal against United, etc.
That's
nothing to show for it.
That's what Lee sent me. That apparently that's the fish that Lee says that they're fried right now.
I didn't see what
some people are saying the fish is burning.
Do you know what? You know what? I like the way that Matisse says he's trying to play devil's avocado, and all of a sudden he's just completely says what he thinks really deep down in his own agendas against Arsenal.
No disrespect.
I like that. I like
disrespects massively.
Yeah, no disrespect, but this is actually what I think. But I'll say it's playing devil's advocate. Do you know what? Right? Do you know what? I don't think we will look at this game, because I think this one is the one that we won't look at. I think we'll look before this. Because
if you don't look at it, I will draw your attention to it.
No, I know you will. But nobody will listen to you, because actually, what we'll look at is the Everton game that we completely folded in at Goodison Park. Southampton that we drew to away. Southampton and Everton away. We couldn't pick up more than a point out of both of those games. Brentford at home with the Lee Mason situation, we'll look back at and go, what the hell was going on there? They're the games we'll look at.
But Anfield, this is the one in the crucial point. You needed it.
Why was this the one?
This
was more significant for you than losing to Everton and Southampton.
No, because this was the one where it put it in Man
because
City's
it was against West Ham. That's what it is. It's got
nothing
nothing
to do with Man City's hands. And let's just
in Man City's hands,
right? Let's just get into it, right? By the way, I want to say, apologies to Liverpool fans for the Stevie G catching strays. This ain't your day to be cooked. Like, I'm sorry, you did your job for football last week, right? To stop them. We did our job this week, right? So thank you for that. Now, let's get into it. They started, right, coming out of the gates on fire. We always start slow. We always start slow. First goal goes in. Second goal goes in. I just sat down. I sat down and I looked down to the floor and I was like,
why did you not trust in David Moyes to turn it around for you?
Because I don't trust David Moyes.
Well, you should have. That was foolish. That was foolish.
Listen, maybe I should have, because boy, he delivered. He delivered.
Played an attacking team, Lawless.
Listen, I've got to say, right, what's embarrassing about these, champions elect, Arsenal, the fact that they went 2-0 up and they was like, okay, that's done. We're just gonna waste time for the rest of the game. We're just gonna chill. We're gonna take every throw in slow, every goal kick slow. You know what I mean? We're going to throw ourselves to the floor and take ages to get up and do the whole, like, Jesus. Oh, I'm hurt. Right, as soon as we got the free kick, jog up into, into the box. They was trying everything they could do to slow the game down from that moment. So instead of just carrying on attacking and going for the jugular, right? It was embarrassing. It's like I was watching Stoke or something. Like, why are you you're up there and we're down here? Why are you wasting time against us? Why are you tapping into the dark arts?
Where was the killer mentality? At 2-0 to go and make it 3, make it 4, make it 5. And then when you've got that Manchester City type score, because remember, your goal difference could be very important. If you lose the title on goal difference, oh my God. It's going to be moments like this where you guys didn't absolutely go into third and fourth and fifth here, and you're going to be looking back on it. But the reason why I also disagree, and this is something that Lawless hasn't brought up yet, I'm wondering if he was going to. West Ham played midweek. You guys had a whole week to prepare for this game. So that's why I'm not really thinking that the Everton, new manager bounce under Sean Dyche, a very physical game at Goodison is worse. Brentford is worse, who are higher up the table. I think this West Ham performance, considering you were 2-0 up, especially when you got the warning at Anfield the week before, and then you go 2-0 up again and you get complacent, because that's all this really comes down to. It's not the fact that, the crowd turned and, Trent versus Xhaka. This is a stadium where West Ham have been poor at home. They've been losing some crazy games at home. You guys had
this home game was 5-1 to Newcastle.
That's why I just don't get it.
That was what worried me. That was what worried me more than the result. That was actually what worried me more than the result, was the fact that we was in Belgium and they were playing midweek and we looked leggy. And I don't know why that was. I don't know if the team have just got it mentally wrong in the last couple, but to go 2-0 up and not be able to see it out is poor. And it does worry me now. It's going to be tough anyway, right? Let's have it right. It's going to be tough anyway. Now it's going to be really tough because I feel like we've either got to do one or two things. We've got to win all our games, which means we win at the Etihad, or we've got to win all our games and not lose at the Etihad. Then it's done. Now, that's going to be hard because we've got Newcastle, we've got Brighton. And I did say a few weeks ago, everyone said, it's on that Etihad game. I said, nah, let's not get it twisted. I think there's probably going to be nothing to do with that Etihad game. Now it's looking like it will be. I thought both teams would drop points towards the end of the season. I stand by that. We already have. Still think City might drop one. But it's going to be very difficult. It's very difficult.
I think there's one or two fixtures that they'll drop points in, but I feel like with them, because the margin for error is so small, like they're the chasing pack, they have to be pristine. I don't think they're going to drop loads of points. I can, in fact, what I meant to say is, whilst I agree that both teams will drop points here and there, I think Arsenal will drop more points than Man City. I think they will drop more points than Man City. I was looking at Man City's fixtures.
To this, by the way.
You got two super chats.
I'm waiting after Tobs says what he says.
I was looking at Man City's fixtures. I think they're going to win all their home games. Yes, I said it. I've been saying it for yonks that I'm tipping Man City for the title, and I believe they'll beat Arsenal at home. They are on fire. They're on a roll. Yeah. And I feel like it's fitting that the next game they play after the FA Cup,
Is
which I expect will be a morale boosting hammering. I fully
You've got to
expect
play their B team on that one though as well. I wouldn't play Haaland.
They have to play the B. Nah, nope. Man City have been here before, right? Man City were in an FA Cup semi-final or final. Was it semi-final they got to last year or final? It was final, right?
No, they got to. I think they got to the semi-final.
Man City have been, and I get it. He rotated a little bit here and there, but the point I'm making is Man City have a squad that's padded enough that they can play a team strong enough to bruise Sheffield United and prepare for Arsenal. You look at what happened in Leicester, for instance. They wrapped up the game by half-time and said, "Yep, job done. Take off."
Got cocky though, and almost come back to you. If Maddison shoots that in and then that doesn't hit the post, it's 3-3. So they were cocky, man. It was quite like, wow, hang on a minute. It
was cocky. It was cocky. They took the foot off.
It didn't matter in the end, but
what I'm saying is that they have a squad that's capable of doing well in the FA Cup and preparing for the Arsenal game. And I'm just saying it's fitting that Erling Haaland's opportunity to break the Premier League record is in this game at their ground in front of his own fans. Arsenal are not winning this game. They're losing this match. They're losing this match.
On it.
They're losing.
Oh, I think 100% they're going to lose that game.
They're going to lose this match.
I think the other thing people have forgotten, which I think, listen, he's done all right. I'm not going to start slating the guy because he's done all right, but it ain't the same to the whole of our team and system. Saliba's missing. Saliba's missing. And if you remember a while back, you said you think Arsenal win it, and I said I think if we keep our first 11 fit, we've got a great chance. We've not got Zinchenko and Saliba now, and I actually didn't think Tierney was horrendous, but I didn't think he was great at the same time. And we're missing that system works so well. Thomas Partey, he looked like he was missing. I think it was Babs saying he misses Zinchenko because that little bit of cover. I thought he was awful yesterday. That's the worst game I've seen Thomas Partey play in an Arsenal shirt. He was absolutely horrendous.
Really?
I don't understand why he was coming off. Yeah, he was really bad, man. Really bad.
He was at fault as well.
For the Rice
he threw that away, man. Threw that away for me. But I will say, and I will say this to you three, and I'll say this to everyone in the chat. Nothing changes. Man City will always win in this league, according to you three and everybody else. So when they do, no one will be shocked that Arsenal comes second.
Do you know what? I need to deal with you in the
slow down there, buddy.
Don't go anywhere.
Now, do you think Arsenal were going to win it? Did you think Arsenal were going to win it, both of you three?
No, I didn't. So you've done.
Okay.
It's a huge achievement for you to be here, and you might not get it as bad as Robbie, as bad as a Babs, as bad as a Turkish. But believe me, you will get it. You will.
Yeah.
You've made some statements this season. You've made some statements this season.
You're a sneaky guy. You're a very sneaky guy.
How your team are, or we're the best. R11 versus 11. We can beat anyone. Red tear, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's fine. You can believe it. But what I'm saying is, now we're going to judge you for what you said. So if 11v11 you can beat these people, then you can win the league. And
we haven't got our best 11. That's what I'm saying.
That's not my business. That's not my business.
So what you're saying is it's a different statement. Still, Arsenal have the squad to win it. I've never said that.
Just because my opinion was that Man City were going to win it doesn't mean that my opinion is the only thing that stands true. Every single metric we've had shoved in our faces in recent weeks props up Arsenal. Oh my God, most goals scored by players aged 23 and under. Some nonsense stat that all of a sudden they plucked up. Oh, no team at this stage of the season has gone on to not win the league, etc., etc. So
just remember, I haven't said either of those things.
I don't care. You're an Arsenal fan, so you're going to.
Yeah, but I haven't said it, so you can't come.
It doesn't matter.
You didn't call it out.
It doesn't matter. I haven't said a lot of the things that Spurs fans say, and yet you hold me accountable. You hold me accountable.
I don't actually. Lawless does.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Be fair, you don't now because it's
you don't. You don't. But I'm gonna hold you accountable. Yeah.
That's what you get, bro. See, that's what you get for teaming up with it week in, week out.
I don't team up with nobody, brother. Hold yourself, man.
But it's not over. Yeah. All of this talk on Arsenal being bottlers and stuff, I reject that notion because yes, whilst they bottled the West Ham game, they're still top of the league and they still have. I think you have the best away record of any team this season. You've got big wins under your belt, so it's still there. The gauntlet has been laid out. This is the title race. There's going to be twists and turns. You must come out of this in number one spot. If you don't come out in the number one spot, this show will be fireworks. You must.
There you go.
Let's have some self-awareness, you three. Yeah, fucking hell.
There we go.
Listen, we know we're shit, but it's the fact that you guys are the best team in the league up until this point. It's the fact that you have knocked yourself out of all cup competitions. This is the key here. You have one game a week until the end of the season. You've knocked yourself out of every cup competition. You do not play in the FA Cup this weekend. Manchester City do. They may rest, whatever, but they still have to train. They still have to focus on that game. They still have to prepare. They still have to treat them with respect. You guys have a week and a
Sheffield United in the issue for me.
You have
Real Madrid.
You have a couple of. You have a day extra to prepare for City. You have a day extra to prepare for City because you play on Friday. They play on Saturday. You play Southampton. You're at Southampton at home. You should. That is as easy as Sheffield United at this point. How they're playing the league. You guys must. If you don't take anything out of this season, you know, as much as you guys will be in for a cooking, you will only have to look at the Wikipedia page in a couple of years' time. There'll be nothing on it. There'll be nothing on it for all of this champagne football, for all of this Saka curler into the far corner against United, for all of these late winners against Bournemouth and Aston Villa, for all of this Mudryk trolling and Jorginho prop. You guys will have nothing to show for it. And I don't think you understand yet what that really feels like. To have nothing at the end of the season after all of this, because you guys have never been in this position before. But you will leave with nothing. You will leave with nothing.
Listen, hold fire. Let me come back to that absolute waffle from Matisse, right?
How is that waffle?
This is waffle. 2003.
You will leave this season with the same thing as me. Nothing.
And you're saying I don't know what that feels like. I remember walking in going morning in 2003 when we come second to Man United. 2003, we come second to United. I was in mourning. We won the FA Cup that year, and I still couldn't really celebrate because I was gutted that we threw it away. So trust me, man. I'm 35, not 20.
You better remember
I know exactly what it feels like when it happens.
Back,
the difference is, where Matisse is right, is this team and this manager haven't had that feeling. So absolutely spot on when you say that. But to say that I haven't felt this before, trust me, I felt failure a long time.
You probably have felt it, but I think what Matisse's point is typically when you have been in a position where you've been able to actually win something, right? In recent years, you've won it. So the FA Cup, when you got to the semi-finals, etc., you won the FA Cup. What is it like? You won 4 FA Cups in like the last 8 years or something like that. The last time you were in to be fair, the last time you were in contention for the title, you didn't win it. But the point Matisse is making is you've got more memories over the last 20 years of winning than bottling. I don't think I can't remember the moment. I think maybe like 2 or 3 Premier League campaigns where I can actually say, yeah, you bottled it. Like the Gallas
they bottled top 4 last season.
The Gallas
that's not true. That's not a trophy. I know it is to West Ham, but it's not.
Yeah, I'm talking about trophies, right? And the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because my team don't win anything, and when my team get to a position where Arsenal are obviously not as good as Arsenal because we didn't accumulate as many points or score as many goals or play as nice football as Arsenal. But when my team were in a position that wasn't even as good as Arsenal and they failed, what were they called by your fans? Bottle jobs.
And the 3 of us just remember this when we start talking about Spurs in a minute. That's all I'll say.
No, you can. You're gonna rip me to shreds.
Listen, you're gonna rip me. You're gonna rip Tobs.
You ain't gonna rip me, not today.
I just want you to remember they're losers, they're pathetic, they're this, they're that, they're bottle jobs, blah, blah, blah. So all I just want is for Arsenal fans to keep the same energy. And I said the same thing to Robbie this morning. Keep the same energy. Because when it is other teams in this position and they go on and they don't win anything, Arsenal fans are out with pitchforks, bottle job, XYZ. So when it's your turn, don't run, don't hide. We there, you there. You must.
Let me respond to this super chat, by the way. This people talk about self-awareness, right? About wet spam, top bus
something you don't have
for a draw. This is the same fan base that celebrated losing 2-1 last season. The very same fan base that celebrated losing 2-1. So don't ever talk about top bus parades for drawing.
Yeah, he's right. He's right. You don't remember the famous 2-1 defeat that was actually a win against Man City, where you lot played the best football in the league for 30 minutes against the champions? Do you not remember that?
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. No,
I have never once said that was a win.
You
all
will
right?
start to take responsibility for the shit that your fan base says.
Why? Why?
No.
Why would I?
You are out here.
Why would I take any of that nonsense when I've been calling this deluded fan base out for the last 10 years or so now? I've been calling our fan base out. Why is it now all of a sudden, you can just be put into the category of them when I've never agreed with half anything they've said?
You're a fraudulent guy because
you're
you present yourself and you misrepresent what you say after the fact to make it look like, I didn't think we was going to win. Oh, yeah, I knew this was going to happen. I saw this and I said that and I called this. I was on Lee Judge's TV Friday night, right, with you and Lee. And you was confident as you like. Yeah, 2-0, 3-0. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. Clean sheet. We got to get the goal difference up. We need to get the goal difference to catch Man City. How's your goal difference? Exactly the same as before this game, right? So don't sit there and act like, I'm Mr. Reasonable. I'm Mr. Reasonable. I called it. I said we're going to lose everything when we lost it. No,
I didn't say that.
Down and eat your humble pie.
I said the day I'm having, there's no way we're winning this game. That is the one.
No. Listen, there's no evidence. We only have evidence for what you said on stream, yeah? That's what we've got. Your words recorded, public for all to see.
Mate, I'll happily put the WhatsApp message up if you want.
I can't believe what it's like to be on the same side as Lawless. I'm normally on Potter's side. This is crazy.
Yeah, Toby, by the way, who's like, West Ham are going to get battered 5-0. It's 2-0 already. Oh, my God, this is going to be embarrassing for you, Lawless. Next minute, he's sucking him off when it gets to 2-2.
Yes, you're damn fucking right. You're damn fucking right, because I don't want you to win the fucking league. You're damn right. You are damn right. You know what? When it went 2-2,
couple of flip-flops over here.
Like Lee Judges, when he's like, Harry Kane, you. That's how I was, but happy. I was like, you little bastard. He's done it again. You little dirty bastard. Ben Rama, he's done it again.
We need to talk about the mighty West Ham, because this Costa with his 50 sec here trying to talk about worst club in London. We're crap. If we're crap, what does that make you on Sunday, right? Because we battered you. We were by far the better team for most of the game. You're sitting there. Arsenal fans are crying, saying that was never a penalty. That was as stone wall a penalty as you will ever see in your life. He clips his heel with his knee. Talking about handball in build-ups, right? For one, as Declan Rice comes in to intercept Partey, and that the ball maybe bounces up and hits his arm. But the thing is, the rule is that if Declan Rice had been the one to score the goal, then they would go and review it and then, overturn it. Declan Rice was not the one who scored the goal, or would have scored the goal. He laid it off, and it was Paqueta who got fouled. So that was the right decision. It was a stonewall penalty. Ben Rama steps up and he showed Saka how it's done. He is the new Mark Noble of penalties. He's the coldest penalty taker, ice in his veins, right? That's how you take a penalty. And from there, the momentum was with us. Arsenal fans, shut up.
You should have scored another one. Antonio hitting the post.
Yeah, which was great. Work again from Ben Rama. Goes and wins the ball up in their end.
How's better than Harry Kane, Antonio missing? How's he missing that?
Well, the angles there. You know what I mean? It's
no. That's a stonewall chance. Because
it's a stonewall chance.
It's a huge chance.
It's a glaring miss. It's a shocking miss. It's a criminal miss.
It's fine margins. He hit the post. He had a great game, Antonio.
The reason why I say this is because I know what's coming when we're going to discuss Spurs, and I know a certain someone missed an absolute sitter that's going to get vilified. So I want you to know why did better than Harry Kane, Mikel Antonio miss that free header?
That was a shocking.
He was actually. I don't rate Antonio, right, but he was actually a handful in parts.
He was tired by the end of that game, gassed out.
Exactly, he was gassed out.
I knew we'd be in trouble when I saw that Aguerd was at the back. I was like, we're going to struggle to score now.
Oh.
That's
not very nice.
This was this little joke he made on WhatsApp that went over everyone's head. He was like, "Oh, actually, that was a joke."
I didn't clock that. No, because I wasn't.
No, man, I can't talk, man, today. But it was funny.
Yeah, look at the back line. We had Creswell at left back. We had
we should have done better, bro.
Who's your best left back?
Zuma. No, best left back is Emerson.
Oh, hang on, whoa, say that again. What did you just say? Look at our back line. When you've been bigging it up the whole time, and now they're shit now all of a sudden.
Creswell's crap.
Zuma, you just said Zuma.
No, but I'm saying Zuma, Zuma.
You've been sucking off Zuma all season.
Yeah.
Listen to me. The strongest back line is Emerson, Aguerd, Zuma, Soufal, right? So half of that was...
Oh, so Soufal shit now?
No, I didn't say he's shit. I'm saying half of that. Zuma and Soufal was brilliant. He pocketed Martinelli.
Yeah, right. What are you saying? What are you saying about line for then? If he's so good,
you know what's hilarious here? Kera. He's bigged up Kera all season. So
guess what?
He's shit. He's shit.
He's so shit.
He is
I was
so
shit. Didn't Bonner play? But he didn't. It was Kera. It's Kera that started.
And he's so shit, that he pocketed Jesus, mate.
Oh
he
my
pocketed
God.
a lot of your players.
Jesus was good. Jesus was good this game. Jesus should have stayed on. I don't know why he took off Jesus and left on.
Don't say Kera was good because Kera was good. Kera had a good
Jesus
game
on and brought Tross on.
It's not about Kera having a good game on.
So why are we shitting on him?
It's about you talking about how weak your defense is when man for man, these players, you've told us that how good they are.
Bigging them up all season.
But still, told us how good they are.
It's not our strongest. That's not our strongest.
And it wasn't Arsenal's strongest as well. So
because it was, but he was crying about one player, Saliba. One player he's crying about.
Zinchenko as well.
Zinchenko, they wanted him dropped. I was on Troops this show, and he was saying Tierney to come on.
I love Tierney, right?
This is why I'm back on the opposite side because your hypocrisy, and your delusion is actually crazy. You've just tried to big your own team up, despite missing 2 starters, and then when he tried to do the same thing, you're saying it's not the same. They were missing their best fullback. Their best fullback on form this season, and
we're missing our best fullback. We're missing our best fullback.
I know. So the same absence for you is the same absence for them.
No, but what I'm saying is it's different because of where we are and where they are. Where we are. Wait a minute. Are you that mad? Are you that out of your head that you cannot see the difference between the team that's 15th missing key players versus a team that's
why are you telling
and I must say, after Zinchenko got nuts.
This team are not. You've told us how good this team are.
This is what you're not getting, Lawless. This was our point.
You've told us how good this team are and how it's all
you. Why are you saying how good they are?
Why are you now bringing league?
No, because at the end of the day, they're still not our strongest 11. That's still not our strongest 11.
Their strongest 11 as well.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter because
it's not the same. What do you mean it doesn't matter? Of course it matters.
Because they're top of the league, aren't they?
So what? Because they're top of the league, that means that they should just lose key players and just be fine with it.
Yeah, they should. You should be able to adapt. Man City do it. Why can't they adapt?
Especially when you're not playing in Europe, especially when you're not playing in Europe and you got a whole week to prepare, you should be able to handle a couple of changes. If you go to West Ham with a couple of changes, bearing in mind when Zinchenko got nuts at Anfield, half of the fan base were crying for Tierney to come in anyway. So it's only really, and a lot of people have said, listen, the gap between Tierney and Zinchenko is not that big. Tierney's better defensively, Zinchenko is better on the ball. It's a tactical switch up, but I like both players. It's only really Holding that gets rubbed out for Saliba. If you're going to West Ham, a team that are down in the dumps, played on Thursday, and you've got a couple of players missing, and you've got Trossard on the bench, and you've got all these options, you should be able to go and win that game. It's definitely a big difference to West Ham not playing Skamaka, not playing all of these other guys. Nah,
there's no one even disagreeing.
They had to rotate between 2 teams because they played.
No, but no one's disagreeing with what you've just said there.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
No, we're not. What Matisse has just said is a completely different point to what you brought up.
That's the point I just made.
Matisse has said that Arsenal should. No. Listen. Matisse has said Arsenal should be able to compete with it in terms of their squad, which is something I've always questioned. I've never thought Holding was good enough in terms of long term. But listen to me. But you, for whatever reason, all season have been sucking off this back line, and now all of a sudden you couldn't even win against this back line.
This back line hasn't played all season. This back line hasn't played together, though. What I'm saying is this back line hasn't played together all season.
So they're great, apparently. So what?
Yeah, I'm saying I think they could be quality individual players. Kura still needs to
Kura is not quality.
Kura is shit.
No, I'm not.
Kura is average at best.
He looked like an absolute yesterday. He looked like an absolute donkey.
Jesus scored, you know. Jesus scored.
Kura is shit.
Yeah, good for him. What did he do after?
How did you pocket Jesus if he scored?
I didn't. Yeah, but I'm just saying. After that, he handled it.
Nonsense.
After the 2 goals. No, because everyone knows.
I actually feel
Well, let me get this.
I actually feel sick
everyone knows
they're on the same side briefly because he's actually so pathetic. It makes me sick.
Yeah, this is just your comprehension. The point is, the first 10 minutes they had. So all of our players were shit in the first 10 minutes. I'm judging it on
more than 10 minutes.
What?
It was more than 10 minutes.
No, it was about 10 minutes.
No, it was more than 10 minutes. It was.
All right, it was 11 minutes.
Your goal literally came from a mistake. It was only after your goal that you lot started looking like you could actually.
Wait. Our goal came from a mistake.
Yes.
So what did their goals come from?
What do you mean? Where did their goals come from?
Mistakes.
Really?
I think they just. Yeah. I think they just fucked.
They cut you apart. What do you mean?
It just looked like you guys got fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
You made a mistake.
I didn't see any individual errors. I just saw you guys got destroyed.
Do you not see the intricate build-up between Partey, Odegaard?
They cut you apart. We've still got to do our job.
Cut you apart.
You still got to get your positioning on point.
You know what's hilarious? My main memory of Kura this game wasn't even his defensive display, which wasn't even that bad as the game grew on. It was the fact that bozo gave away the ball in the first 15 minutes. I can't remember who it was that gave it to. The guy's a clown.
No, wait. You just said there weren't mistakes.
What are you talking about?
So there we go. Individual mistake. You've just pointed one out.
No, but it didn't lead to the goal, did it? I said I remember him giving the ball away like an absolute idiot.
Look, you're picking on the wrong things here. You're focusing on the wrong things.
No, I don't think I am.
What I'm trying to say.
You've told us how good this West Ham team are. So shouldn't this be expected? Shouldn't this be expected?
No, because this is what I'm saying. You're writing off players. We're going to talk about your flop players later.
No,
because we're going to talk about it. We're really going to talk about it.
That's fine. Yeah. Talk about it.
Don't worry about my players, yeah? Because my players performed this weekend. My players performed. Okay. Even Kura, right? So let's see. Paqueta, yeah, who was brilliant yesterday, won the penalty. Brilliant, right?
Because he worked hard. He wasn't brilliant. He worked hard.
He had a really good game.
Is that the standard at West Ham? If you run,
lost the midfield.
Okay, sorry, but let me rephrase. I guess he played well according by the West Ham metric. If you run 12 kilometers, you've had a great game. Who was
better, Paqueta or Partey? Who was better, Paqueta or Partey yesterday?
Oh, Thomas Partey made a mistake that led to a goal. Potts just said that this was one of Thomas Partey's worst games. So of course, if the comparison is a guy who literally had a pants game, how is that?
You can't just put it all on Partey because he also had
talking about Paqueta. Jared Bowen was way better. Jared Bowen was way better than Paqueta. Declan Rice was better than Paqueta. Like these are two performers off the bat better than Paqueta.
Yeah, but what the point I'm making is you're putting it all on Partey was shit because Partey was shit. He had to also be shit. He has to also be shit because Rice and Paqueta were so good in the midfield. Our midfield was better than their midfield.
I thought they were unreal. It should have been about 8-2. West Ham, unbelievable.
We were a better side. You can't argue it.
Lawless, I didn't say you didn't play well. You were good. You were good. I literally said you were good value for your draw. Just
good value for a win, even. Let's be real.
Can I just say something? Can I just say something quick?
Yeah. So
can I just say something quick?
We missed the sitter, as you pointed out.
Yeah, so then how does that make you good value for a win?
Because we were the better team for the most of the game.
But you didn't create as many chances to win.
Can I just say on the 17th of April, it's been 44 minutes talking about Arsenal who have
to be fair, we spoke about West Ham as well.
Drew a game, 9 games unbeaten, still top of the table, and they've drew how the mighty have fallen. Oh my God. Chelsea, West Ham, and Spurs right now laughing at that.
Let me ask you this before we move on, and I'm going to go to Super Chats, don't worry. If you don't believe you're going to win the title from here, then saying top of the table doesn't mean anything. Because unless you're going to tell me right now that you're still confident that you're going to win the league, you telling me that you're top of the table doesn't mean anything. Because that means you're an elephant on top of the tree. You know you're going to fall.
I've got.
Do you think you're going to win the league?
Yeah, I've got to back my boys.
Okay.
I've said it
your
now. I
boys,
don't go
back
back.
your
I don't
boys.
flip and flop, man. I don't
Back
flip
your
and flop
boys,
like
but watch
Lawless.
your back pots because we come.
I don't
Live's
flip
gonna be out.
I don't flip and flop like Lawless. I don't start putting pictures of
Lawless
managers
is
I want
quality.
out on the
Lawless is
Twitter
quality.
accounts and shit like that. So I don't
Back your
flip and
boys,
flop,
but
man.
watch your back. That's quality.
Wow.
saying.
Fuck me, that's a title right there. Fuck
I'm saying we're gonna do it. If we don't do it, we've gone on a title race, which is more than what I expected. So
And
there we
we're
go.
staying. Let me just quickly say this: we're obviously staying up. That show, that performance is the fight I wanted to see. That result is the positivity that's going to turn things around. We're staying up. That is also going to help carry us into your Conference League. We haven't seen that all season. I haven't seen that before. I've come out of wins and haven't felt that good.
I can't wait until that Moyes pitch is taken down and you lose next week. It's going to be beautiful.
Moyes in there.
It's coming down Wednesday. No, it's not Moyes in, but Moyes have a nice, part
couple
on
of
good
days.
terms.
Yeah.
Lawless,
Oh,
please
part
make
on good
sure.
terms. Okay.
Please make sure that you win on Thursday. Please don't mess up.
It's
Please
coming
don't
down
mess
Wednesday. It's
up.
official.
Thursday, sorry. Thursday.
If you don't beat
Please
Ghent,
do not-
I'm not gonna lie to you. You
Oh,
will get
please.
We're
absolutely
beating Ghent.
dragged on this show to Kingdom Come. You don't even understand the dragging you're in for if you don't
We're,
beat Ghent.
we're beating
Please
just-
do
Ghent.
not lose.
Of course,
That's all
I'm just
saying.
saying you drew 1-1. I don't know why, but I'm just saying. Obviously, you may have set up defensively in that game, made a few changes.
We
Just
did,
make sure
we
you
did,
beat Ghent
we did.
because if you don't, I feel.
In fact, win the whole thing, please don't lose that trophy. Please don't lose it, Lawless.
If
That's
we
all I'm
win
saying.
that and you don't win the
Please don't lose
league,
it.
oh my God, Potts, you better run. You better hide.
Why would I
Yeah?
care?
Ah,
You've had a
why
shit
would I
season. Why would I care?
Why? Because you ain't done fuck all but got second.
This guy is absolutely shameless.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, let me go
crazy.
to super chats. Costa says result won't change. That West Ham are a crap club, worst club in London. Nobody cares about them, Lawless. Definitely an Arsenal fan, obviously sending that in. Don't rewrite history. They've been champions elect up until now. I'm shocked everyone is backing us to do the treble three-peat, especially the big six teams. Obviously a Man City fan there. When they win, Saka world class, lose young team. Interesting. From FR. Lawless, are you having ills for dinner tonight? Why is
No, I
Lee
don't eat ills.
All right. I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know.
Lee Sims is saying this is the most rivals have actually spoken about Arsenal on any platform about to double
Facts.
Chelsea's points.
Absolute
Spuds
facts.
still shit.
Big
West
up
Ham,
Lee
well.
Slims.
That's not true. We've spoken about
exactly.
Arsenal at length,
Indeed.
giving them a lot of praise a lot of the time this season. They've got a lot
Not
of
much.
praise.
Not
Wax
much.
lyrical
Not
about
much.
their team constantly.
Not
I
for
don't know.
47 minutes, you haven't. Not for
Well,
47
you
minutes.
played West Ham,
you
so
got time
we're
in it
killing
now.
two birds with one stone. You played West Ham. You both played each other. If it was just Arsenal,
Sure.
playing
We'll
somebody
go with that,
else, then
Matisse.
fair
We'll go with
enough.
that, Matisse.
Of course. To cover both
Oh
teams.
my God, this is Chris 123's comment, by the way, so fucking true. When Potts and Toby get rattled, they always gaslight. That is a fact. I had to just read that out because, my God, there's nothing been truer that's been said than that. Shout out Chris 123.
Where do we want to go next? Chelsea or
Spurs.
Tottenham?
Go to Spurs.
Oh, okay. Fuck. All right.
Might as
Then
well, innit?
You lot go. I'm
I'm
speaking
gonna
on it.
roll.
Go on, Lawless. It's your time. It's your time to
Bournemouth at home, 3-2 last minute. What are we doing here? What's going on? Stellini,
Who
Mason.
are we going to? Look, are we going to Lawless
Lawless.
first?
Lawless.
I was I was watching this on DR Sports, right? As they was flicking back and forth between games. And you're watching it, Spurs go 1-0 up, you're like, oh shit. And then you just feel like, this is it. Because Tobs last week said, yeah, we'll beat Bournemouth, and then the season's gonna be shit anyway. Even when he was feeling as low as he did, he thought he was gonna beat Bournemouth. And they started and he was thinking they was gonna beat Bournemouth. But when it went to 2-2, it looked like Spurs were gonna be the team to win that game. They had all the momentum. They had Bournemouth pinned back. And I'm sitting there, I'm just thinking, hold on, Bournemouth, hold on. And then we look, it's 3-2. And that sums up Spurs this season. All those quality players, all those attacking talent getting beat by Gary O'Neill's boys at the new White Hart Lane. And they somehow thought they were good for top 4. Wow. Honestly, he spoke about Kane Kane's obviously he's already got his mind out the door. He's already thinking about who his next club's going to be. It's going to be Man United. Do you know what I mean? Maybe go abroad. He's looking up like house prices. You know what I mean? That is Spursy as it gets, man, and that sums up their season. They're in a bad way. Wow, and that just goes to show you the morale in that club must be on the floor.
But do you know what I don't get? There's managers out there available, and Tottenham still have top 4 to fight for, but yet they've basically stuck with Conte's B Tech, coaching staff. Whether it's Mason, whether it's Stellini, whether it's Ledley King maybe still floating around. Why not go and appoint somebody serious, even an interim, a proper coach, even if it was Rafa Benitez? Like, look what Emery's done at Villa. Look what competency can do. It pisses me off because we're going to get onto my team in a bit. But look what competency can do. Look what it can do. Villa are 6th. They were 11th for weeks on end. They were 11th. He took Steven Gerrard's relegation candidates from 17th up to 6th. They are one of the most informed teams in the league. That is what real managerial competency can do. And this league is not about vibes. It's not about good feelings. It's not about heritage of former players stepping up into managerial roles like Mason and Super Frank. It's about actual systems, actual tactics, actual plan. And to see these two, you may as well just shove these two teams together because we've been absolutely horrendous. So we're nowhere near them in the table. But I can't understand the lack of ambition to go and get an interim. What's the point of sacking someone if you're going to leave their B-Tech coaching staff anyway? I don't get it.
Speak on it, bro. Go on,
Potts.
Just to throw a spanner in the works. Toby might not agree with this, right? But these players are shit. Right? They are shit. I saw them and I thought, oh my God, they are bad. That Pedro Porno guy is absolutely... What the hell is he? What is that thing, man? They ain't going to be paying him to keep him. He is dreadful. Højbjerg. I've never rated Højbjerg, but he had a few good games, and I thought, okay, maybe I've been a bit harsh.
Tobs did, by the way.
Romero.
I just wanted to ask, there's a comment there that says Tobes said that.
Yeah. Let Tobes come in on Højbjerg in a minute, man, because there's a lot more than just him.
What, sorry?
Højbjerg is better than Rice. He has clips of you saying that. Chris123 has clips.
Yeah, he's not.
Oh,
fuck. Did you actually say that?
Romero, like, what's going on with him? Like, he looked good. He needs a calm head next to him. He's rash. I don't know what he's doing for one of them goals. Then you've got Sanchez, £47 million from Ajax, and he is absolute trash. This guy's the Colombian Mustafi, bro. He's absolutely shockingly bad. I've never seen anything like him. He's awful. Gets subbed. The sub gets subbed. That's how poor he was. So we can talk all we want about Emery could do this, Emery could do that. Emery, big up, by the way. Unbelievable job. But Conte couldn't get much out of this team. I don't know that anyone can. They need to get some players in because it's poor. And Richarlison, £60 million.
Has he still not scored a goal?
Wow, he's not scored a goal.
3 offside goals.
He's scored 3 goals that all been chalked off. So, and even Kulusevski, where's he gone? Better than Saka. Where is he? I don't get it. Where is he? Son, awful. I know he scores, but awful all season. Harry Kane's the only one in that team anybody would look at the moment. Like, no joke, real talk.
Shit. Harry Kane was dog shit. I don't care if he scored. I don't give 2 shits if he scored 25, 26, 27 goals. He was rubbish against Bournemouth. He was absolutely awful. So he should not escape criticism. He may have more credit in the back than most, but he was dog shit. When he was playing up top, when he was playing in CM, he was crap. Rubbish. And the same could be said for practically the entire team. Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Richarlison is a fucking bum. I'm done until he scores. Until he scores.
I tried telling you this.
No.
Brother, I need you to have the energy because if it was a Chelsea attacker with no goals for 60 million, you would have dug into him with 2 knife on
Richarlison Havertz.
Richarlison Havertz.
Bro, the same way you keep bringing up Havertz and Pulisic, you need to be bringing up this brother. I don't care if he's not starting anymore. You have got to put the ball in the back of net one fucking time this season. I agree. Mid-April, brother.
I agree.
Can you have his new name, Shai Charlison, yeah?
Richardson.
Dan Druma's even come on and scored now. Like, come
They're
on.
calling him Richard. They're calling him Richard. So, like, for me, the thing is, I say that to Richie because at this point, it's got to be tough love. It's got to be tough love. Because I actually don't hate the guy. I still don't think he's an awful player. But at this point, I can't defend this. Like, bruv, how many times can I talk about your lack of minutes? How many times can I talk about your injuries, all of this stuff? Brother, woe is me. I don't give a shit. You're 25 years old. You're a professional footballer. Put the ball in the back of the net. Put the ball in the back of the net.
Was Fuad right then, Tobs, when you were shouting at him, telling him he was wrong?
That was a great show, by the way.
He's looking right. He's looking right now. I can't say he's wrong. Right now, Fuad is right. It's up to Richarlison to prove him wrong. It is. I can't do that. The guy's disgraced me. 0 Premier League goals. I don't even care, bro. Danjuma has played like a tenth of your minutes. Danjuma has played like a tenth of your minutes, and he scored. And they only brought Danjuma here to do Ramadan prop. They literally brought Danjuma at the club to do Ramadan prop, and he scored a Premier League goal before you. That's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. I got no more. There's no more carrot for Richarlison. It's the stick now. It's the stick. Because enough is enough. You cost 60 million.
Yeah.
You actually cost 60 million. F this woe is me act. Score some fucking goals. It's embarrassing. And that Højbjerg as well, mate. You see how my favorites have disgraced me this year. Conte disgraced me. Carlton disgraced me. Højbjerg disgraced me. Romero disgraced me. Højbjerg, sell him. Get rid of him.
Did you really say Højbjerg was better than Rice?
He's shit. I said it 2 years ago. Yeah, I did.
Fuck.
You're going to apologize? Can we have a formal apology?
I will apologize. I'll formally apologize to you, Lawless, because Declan Rice is actually really good. Like, he's a really good midfielder. I can't lie. Good. He's a really good midfielder. But Højbjerg is dog shit. He's rubbish,
Next,
man.
bid an Arsenal shirt in the summer.
Damn.
He's dog shit, man. Like,
man.
I respect the way he talks, but I can't respect the way he plays. He plays like a fucking donkey, man. He's crap. Get rid of him. It's got to the point now where I don't even want to keep some of these, man. Just get rid. I don't want you as a squaddy. Just get rid. I've had enough. When this guy is not playing with Bentancur, he literally looks like a year 11 who's never kicked ball in his life playing in CM in the Premier League. It's terrible. He gets bypassed all the time. Every single time he's getting chopped. Last week, the disallowed goal for Danny Welbeck. Guess who got chopped? Højbjerg. This week, recently, for Bournemouth's winner, guess who got chopped? Højbjerg. Every single time. He's always getting sold. Every single time. Southampton gets chopped. Arsenal gets chopped. West Ham gets chopped. Liverpool gets chopped. Every single time he's getting chopped. He goes to press. He presses too late. You get the ball, you dribble past Højbjerg. You don't have to do much to dribble past Højbjerg. That you see that stat about Van Dijk hasn't been dribbled past. I would love to see that stat for Højbjerg because I'm sure it's in the thousands. It's ridiculous the amount of times that this guy gets dribbled past. And you're meant to be our CM. You're meant to be the elder statesman out of him and Skip. Skip, I'll be real. Skip is not good enough to be starting for Spurs regularly. He's not good enough to be starting for Spurs regularly. And we know that. We acknowledge that. Right?
Another thing I said that Spurs fans cried about.
No, but you can get onto there, man. You can even get onto me for that. But I've never said that Skip is starting quality for Spurs. He's not. When you look at what the competition is, we need better than Skip. But what I will say is this, and what I've always said is this: I don't think he's a bad player, but he's limited. He's a DM. As a DM, he goes about his business. He goes about his business well, but when you're playing in a two-man midfield, you need someone to progress the ball. You need both your midfielders to be able to progress the ball.
Yeah.
You have to, which is why the Højbjerg and Skip combination, it can't work because Højbjerg is meant to be our most progressive passer. He's the one that has shown the ability to take more risk with his passing, to make some of these. He's putting some really good passes here and there, but he's just such a coward. He's so cowardly. He takes too long on the ball, and then when he gets on the ball, he plays it safe. It's ridiculous. Someone needs to take responsibility and get the ball into the final third. Get the ball to the wing backs. It's embarrassing, bro. So for me,
you overrated Romero as well, didn't you? Like, let's be honest. Let's be real. You overrated that guy.
Romero is a really good centre back. He's just having a poor season. And you know what? Even if you want to say I overrated him, at the worst, he's still a good centre back. He's still a good centre back.
Is he still better than Ben White, like you said?
I plead the fifth.
Hey, look, I think it's questionable in the chat, and they ain't far wrong. All their players are better than this one, and it comes out.
You
What?
can talk.
What do you mean I can talk? Why?
You can talk. I'm not going to say much more than that. You can talk.
Yeah, I
Lawless, man, come on, you don't you have to
You
go the
can
extra
talk.
bit, Lawless. You never like just like
What?
stop. It's always that extra bit.
And
It's like
there's a comment from Nitish as well that hits that literally drives home the point that I've been making for like 2-3 years now. Ever since like Spurs don't have many technicians in this team. We don't have players who are actually comfy on the ball. We have too many players that treat the ball like a hot potato. They're either too safe with it or they just don't want the ball whatsoever. It's embarrassing. In the middle of in the middle of the pitch, we don't have. Can you imagine? You're playing a 2-man midfield and none of your midfielders are good passers of the ball. Can you imagine that?
But this is
imagine? That's scary. You're playing a 2-man midfield and none of your midfielders are good at passing the football. That's scary.
And then on top of that, you don't have a playmaker in the team either, really.
Brother,
apart from Kulusevski.
I've been begging. I've been begging, and anyone who watches, I've been begging for Spurs to sign a playmaker, a pass master for years. I've been begging. We still haven't replaced Modric. We still haven't replaced Eriksen. Yeah. I've been begging for creativity. Even when we were at our best, with Pochettino, we had Eriksen Dembele. I was begging. I said, we need more. We need more.
You guys used to have Van der Vaart. Van der Vaart always gets slept on. That brother was a baller. You know what I mean? Dembele as well. Dembele would shit on this midfield. Obviously, that guy was underrated, I have to say, when he was playing at Tottenham. He would shit on this midfield. Jesus
It's embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing. Mad. And the thing is, Bentancur is the best midfielder we have, and he's a good midfielder. He's not even an elite midfielder, but he's a good midfielder. Like, he's really good. Like, and even he has limitations. He 5 to 10 yard passes in the middle of the park. He's great, but when you need him to open up a game with a
he's not doing that.
Pass, like a Rodri, like a Partey, like a Odegaard, he can't do that. That's not his MO, right? So there's pieces that we have. He's a good player. Basuma's a good player. Yeah, you bring in a playmaker like James Maddison, you've got your base right there. You have. We've been needing a centre back to partner. We've been needing 2 good centre backs since Alderweireld and Jan Vertonghen basically declined.
And all you've done is promote the bench players.
And you've hit the nail on the head. Eric Dyer, who didn't even have. You know what it is with Dyer? Eric Dyer didn't even have like the worst game against Bournemouth, but just by you being you're just not good enough.
Yeah, he's always been trash.
You're just not good enough. And guess what? They're preparing to give this guy a new contract.
You guys are preparing. You guys are actually preparing for mediocrity.
Contract. And the
Circus
thing is,
club, man.
Mediocrity is their future.
There's so many players. Yeah, like obviously, when we're not playing well, you're gonna get the takes of he was never that good. He's shit. He's this. He's that. And that may be true for some players. Some players' roles need to change. Like Son is actually starting to score goals now. Yeah. But if Son is going to stay next season, he can't be a starter. He can't be a guaranteed nailed-on starter because he doesn't perform well enough to warrant that position. Yeah. But in the end of the day, Spurs actually need some new quality in specific roles. And most importantly, we need a manager who's actually going to put players in their best positions to thrive. Because nobody can tell me Kulusevski is not a good player. Nobody can tell me Basuma is not a good player. No. Nobody can tell me Romero is not a good player. No, I'm not.
Now it's important to have the right manager. Now manager is important.
I've never said it's not important, but before I've never said it's not important. But before I've even spoken about the manager, have I not slated all these players? You don't do this. I've just slated Richarlison. I've just slated Højbjerg. I've just slated Romero. You don't slate your players. You
listen. Of course I do. I've slated players. Souček, I've been on his neck all season.
No, you don't. Souček is your scapegoat because he's absolutely dog shit. I'm talking about the players that you like. The players that you like and you endorsed that are not playing well. Because right now we've just slaughtered Richarlison, and I've not disagreed with anything you said. I could easily say Conte ain't played him. Conte ain't done this, but no, he needs to score goals.
I tell you why Richarlison's different, right? Because Ings, I've been questioning Danny Ings, right? Even though he scored a few goals. Much better than Richarlison, obviously a signing. But I question because it's Prem to Prem. You know what I mean? He's got Prem. If you're coming from a new league, you got to give those players a bit of time to, adapt. And bed in. And
you know what, right? You know what, though, Lawless?
Did you not just call Pedro? Didn't you say that he's shit, Pedro Porno? That's what you called him, right?
I called him Pedro Porridge, actually.
Pedro Porno. Even though he's not actually been that bad for Spurs. Granted, he was absolutely shocking on Saturday. I thought, for me, he was the worst performer on Saturday.
You thought he was going to be your savior, though. The answer to your prayers when you signed him.
How?
Yeah, that's what you treated like.
How can one player be the answer to our problems? That doesn't make sense. He's a right wing back. That doesn't make sense, what you're saying.
To be honest, Tobs didn't gas up Poro because he said he didn't know that much about him.
I didn't even know much about it.
All right, but you got it the same way Potts has answered for his fan base.
He gassed up Doherty, though. If you want to hit him on Doherty, you can get him on that one.
You know what? We're talking about, like, Potts, obviously, Tobes has been saying, you must. Arsenal must win the league. Chelsea must get top 4. West Ham must win the Conference League. Let's talk about you must, because as things stand, I'm looking at it. You're actually finishing 7th. You are finishing 7th because Aston Villa are 3 points behind you with win, right?
Last 5, yeah, if not more.
Yep. You have a hellacious run of fixtures coming up, right? Man United, you got Liverpool, Newcastle, right? And Villa. Brighton, who are 4 points behind you, have 2 games in hand on you.
Shit.
So,
and they should have beat you last weekend as well. Fucking hell.
Yeah, so if Brighton and Aston Villa, who are in much better form, have much better managers and a much better team, not individuals, but a cohesive unit, they have to be favourites. They have to be favourites to finish above Spurs, right? I think Liverpool are too far off.
Why do they have to be favourites? They also have difficult fixtures as well.
Yeah, but they're a much better situation than you.
Lawless, can you imagine, right? If Villa and Brighton finish as well. If Villa and Brighton finish above them, wow.
Aston Villa and Brighton have to play each other. Aston Villa also still have to play Liverpool. Aston Villa still also have to play Man United. So, but we're not. We could easily finish below this team. In fact, let me tell you this. I'll double down. If it's not 5th or 6th, I would happily finish 8th or 9th. I do not want to finish 7th.
But you are finishing 7th.
No, I don't want to finish 7th.
Okay, it doesn't matter what you want because the league doesn't care what Tobes wants.
That's fine. You can say that. It's fine. It's fine. You're right. The league doesn't care about what I want. But Brighton, let me look at their.
Do you know what though, right? If Villa and Brighton finish above Tottenham, wow, Tobes, you coming on that show with Pete on Loaded Mag and going, what are Brighton and Villa doing in here? This is the race for Europe. Mate, can you imagine if Villa and Brighton finish above Spurs? Oh, wow.
Villa Twitter's going to have a field day with that clip.
That's fine. I don't care.
That was what you said, right? Did I make that?
No, it is what I said, and I actually don't care, man. I don't care. Let him have
I'm just reminding you of what you said, brother.
It's not just about the fixtures, Tobes. I know we're going to look at the fixtures, and that is an important factor. But just looking at their teams and their form is much
momentum.
Better.
I get it.
Yeah, exactly.
I completely understand your point. I think it's a genuine possibility. I expect
and Emery
to lose 3 of their next 4 fixtures, and in those losses, I expect that Aston Villa and Brighton will probably go above us. So then it all depends on the end of the season, how we do in our next our last 4 fixtures of the season.
Who are your last 4 fixtures? Let's see. May. So I
want to just be out of all the Europe things.
Wow, man. You got to go to Aston Villa. You got to go away to Aston Villa. Is one of your
last. Got to play Aston Villa.
Okay. All right, you got. Well, I didn't hear that. I was too busy.
It was like he's just trying to rub it in even more. You got to go to Aston Villa.
You got your last 4 fixtures.
Football never works like that, though. Like, as bad as Spurs are, we're not going to lose every game. We'll lose the majority.
You're not. You'll draw some.
Lose every game.
We'll draw a few as well. Like
Aston Villa play everybody. They play Fulham. They play Arsenal. They play Brentford, they play Tottenham,
They
they
play
play
Man United.
Brighton, they play Man United, they play everyone. Aston Villa are the one team that kind of control the fate of kind of the Premier League in
Exactly.
this sense. In the
And
top-
Brighton as well. Brighton play each other. Brighton play the teams around us as well. Brighton play Arsenal. Brighton still got to play Man City, right? Brighton still got to play Man United, I think.
They're just much better teams than you, though. That's what I'm saying.
And yeah, they're much better coached right now. So I get it. Momentum is with them. But the point I'm making is they're going to be taking points. They're going to be playing teams around us. So they're going to be taking points off each other. So this notion that Spurs just fall by the wayside, yes, they might leapfrog us, but they're never going to be. I don't think they're going to be so far gone that Spurs can't catch them. Because
no, you probably could catch them, but you won't. That's the problem.
You don't know that, though. You don't know that.
He's making
How do you know that we don't beat? How do you know that we don't take points off Man United at home?
I think you could take 8 points if you take 8 points, but you need wins. You need wins, and then again, Man United, much better team.
I don't even want wins, man. I want this team to finish as low as possible.
He doesn't give a fuck. That's what you're failing.
Okay, but you're gonna finish 7th.
He doesn't give a shit
about Champions League. If it's not Champions League, you know what? If it's not Champions League, I even pray you're right. I want Liverpool to leap from.
Yeah, I would agree.
I pray you're right.
Out of Europa League.
Pots, are you mad? This is Tottenham Hotspur, yeah.
No.
For other competitions
Lawless,
outside the Champions League.
You said that was other competitions.
No, I know what you're going to say.
I hope they don't.
Conference League. That's what he means. I wanted to win the League Cup. I wanted to win the FA Cup. What do you mean too good for competitions?
Tottenham need to come out of it, man. They need to.
So why did you say you don't want to finish 7th then? You want to finish 8th instead of 7th?
Yeah,
because I don't want to be in the Conference League.
He doesn't want to be in the Conference
League. I want to be in the Champions League or Europa League. I don't want to be in the Conference League. It's shit.
It is shit.
Well, listen, it's obviously Spurs are shitter than it because they can get out of group stages.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Spurs are crap. This is my opinion. I don't want to be in that competition.
You don't listen. This is a good chance for you to win a European trophy. This is what I'm saying. This is the problem I have with you, Spurs fans, right? Who think that you're this team that's too good for this trophy, too good for that trophy.
Being too good?
You don't win.
He just doesn't want to watch. He just doesn't want to watch it.
I literally said Spurs are watching.
So he doesn't want to see his team play the Deltas and the Googles and shit. He doesn't want to watch it
in a relegation zone next season. Lawless.
What?
Do you think they'll still be in a relegation zone?
Spurs.
You said they're going to get relegated
next season. I think I'm saying their team is going to go downhill.
Next season, relegation's a possibility. Yes, you did.
You have to say that. Fucking hell.
Yes, you did. He said that West Ham are going to finish. You said that you're going to finish.
So you're saying it's impossible? Are you saying it's impossible?
I'm saying relegation is impossible. Yes.
You're saying it's impossible.
Yes, next season.
You're out of your damn mind.
Let's put money on it then. Let's put money on it then.
Oh, what's money?
Let's put money on it then.
Let's put money on
it. He's telling me that I'm mad for thinking that one of 6 teams that have never been relegated from the Premier League won't get relegated next season.
Well, guess what? Everton have never been relegated, and they're likely to go down.
Let's not compare Everton.
Everton have been fighting relegation the past couple of years. It's completely different.
But do you know what impossible means? Do you know?
Do you guys want to cook Chelsea or not? Because
yes, I know what impossible means.
Only got 12 minutes.
I'm just saying. Do you know what impossible means?
Yes, and I'm telling you, Spurs are not. It's impossible. Spurs are not.
You can say it's unlikely.
No,
it's unlikely.
Impossible.
Oh my God,
next season, Spurs are not getting relegated.
We're playing with the 0.1%.
If that fucking happens, this clip is going viral.
Bro, if that happens, many claims are going to go viral for Tobs.
Go viral.
He will lose his mad.
We've been through Nuno Ball. We've been through Nuno Ball with a piss poor team and was like 7th or 8th. But I'm just saying, we're going to find out with a better team and a new coach next year. Spurs are going to get relegated.
Team. That's a big assumption. That's a big assumption to make.
Better team than what Nuno inherited. Better team than what Nuno inherited. Minus Harry Kane, of course.
Someone in the chat said first pay up the Son versus Haaland bet.
Yeah, exactly. Pay up your bets before you make more bets.
You know what? Look at this guy.
The money team.
£100 here. Come and get it. Yeah, end of the season.
Come and get off me.
End of the season. This is yours. We're at the 17th of April. You like to be so pedantic about things. So I'm going to be pedantic. I said the season. I said he's going to end up within 10 goals this season. So once the season finishes, you get your money. You like being pedantic, so it's my turn to be pedantic.
And keep that cash because I want it in cash because I want to collect it from you on camera. I want a record of it. I don't want no sneaky bank transfers where you can just go, no.
That's fine.
I want
That's fine. You know what? Can we do this? I'm gonna bring your money to you, right? When you get dumped out of the Europa Conference League, because it's gonna happen. So I want to be on whatever post-match reaction you're going to do on West Ham Fan TV, and I want it to be a live one where there's West Ham comments coming in, because I'm going to give you your £100 and then I'm going to proceed to slaughter your abomination.
That's not fair. That's not
Why
fair.
is that not fair? I want to be on your stream when you get dumped out of the Conference League. Potts, Matisse, is that fair?
That's fair enough. I'm happy with that.
No, listen, I will do a stream with you if we lose the Conference League, but that should be separate. Because when you give me my money, that's a happy occasion.
I want to be whichever watch along or live stream, whatever it is you're doing, I know you guys cover all your fixtures, right? So whichever fixture it is where West Ham are dumped out, I want to be invited and I want to be on that stream.
I would do a stream. Yes, you can be invited, but the money.
No. You're gonna get your money. You're going to get your money.
Yeah, but I want that as a separate video. I don't want you. You don't need to hand it over and then get to cook me. No, that's a happy occasion, right? That's all about cooking you when you give me that money.
That's the terms. If that's not the
case,
you
can't make up your own terms.
If that's not the case,
it looks like I'm just gonna get cooked.
If that's not the case, then I'm just gonna.
Yeah, Chelsea have got away this week, man. I tell you.
I'm just gonna back. No, they haven't got away with it. Because we've got 9 minutes left. We're gonna talk about
we'll iron out the details. We're gonna be in this competition for a long time, so we've still got time to iron out. Just keep that money safe for me. You know what I mean? Because we do want to.
They're saying I'm ducking the smoke. Obviously, we lost to Brighton 2-1. Do you want me to give you any context?
Don't speak.
Don't speak.
You're absolutely
Tobs
he doesn't want to waste any time.
I thought Spurs were bad. You are absolute dog shit. If you thought what Brighton did to us at our ground was bad, what they did to you was an outright massacre. How that game only ended 2-1 is a mystery to me. That should have been a 4 or 5-1 pasting. You are absolutely shocking. Even the goal you scored, honestly, a pathetic goal. And it perfectly encapsulates Chelsea. You are toothless. You can't score goals. You can't defend. You can't control games. And then your Neanderthal owner hires the worst manager you've had in recent history to be the caretaker manager. And I remember you on your what video was it that you did where you pretended to be blind? In fact, it was the Big Six. I watched the Big Six. You said that you didn't really have an issue with Lampard being the interim because it's the end of the season and it's whatever, blah blah blah, yada yada. Why wouldn't you have an issue with a guy who is literally 10 times worse than the manager that you want sacked to be at your club?
Because I don't want them to rush the next appointment.
He got sacked at Everton. He got sacked at Chelsea. This guy was already deemed not good enough, and you think that he's gonna come in and
no, I don't,
and get something out of the squad that Graham Potter couldn't get something out of.
I don't know
he's tactically inept. What I said is that I want them to take their time with who they bring in as the next manager. I don't want them to get it wrong because they cannot afford to get it wrong. Now, they've decided to go down the PR stunt of Lampard coming in. I wasn't sitting there watching the Lampard press conferences, getting my dick out and wanking off to it like half the Chelsea fan base. Frank Lampard's back. No, I wasn't. I didn't even.
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago, cool, because it's his first time coming into the job and it's our super Frank, right? But we've had that now. We've had that. And I said, I don't want a legend ever in charge of this club again. And I'm not interested in all of the press conferences and all of the quotes and all, because tactically he is inept. And he hasn't even got his UEFA Pro license. Carrick has, Gerrard has, he's on his A. Roy Hodgson has more wins in his last 3 weeks at Palace than he has in his last 20 games.
Can I just say 30-year-old Will still?
The only thing I want is for them to be hiring a serious manager as soon as possible. I knew we were going out of the Champions League. I said as soon as he came in, we're not even getting Europa League. In fact, now we're not even getting Conference League. I had no expectations when he came in because I know we're not doing anything. I know we're not doing shit. The season's finished. Like I said,
ask you a question?
We're not going anywhere. In fact, we may go down Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, and Wolves have all three of them have all won their last 2 games. They may overtake us. They may overtake
40
us.
points. No 40
You
point
are-
mark.
Arsenal are going to be 40 points clear of us before we hit 40 points because they play Southampton on Friday. We don't
crazy.
play because we're not in the FA Cup. They are going to be 40 points clear of us.
Actually on 39
before-
points.
They're going to be 40
Wow.
points clear of us before we hit 40 points.
I can't believe you're still below 40 points.
Bro, we don't have 40 points. I've been asking for 40 points on Big Six 2 months ago, and you told me I was a
We might
crackhead.
actually catch
You
you
told
up,
me
you know?
I needed to be
3 points ahead of
sectioned.
Palace.
And you told me that I needed to be sectioned. I was a crackhead. I told you I need 40 points 2 months ago.
And I told you
I told
must with the super squad. I told you must with this super squad. And here you are in 11th. You must.
I told you. No, I fucking told you. I told you I wasn't being dramatic. I need these 40 points. I'm still waiting.
Let me
Hey,
ask
can you
a
imagine
question,
if we
man.
finish above you, you know? Like,
Let me ask
you
2
better look
questions.
over your
2
shoulder. you know,
months.
If that happens, boy.
Since
Let
then,
me ask this, man, as I've got to go in a minute. Let me
Go
ask
on.
this. I need to get an honest answer from you as a Chelsea fan and from other Chelsea fans in the chat. What do you think of Todd Bowley? Because this guy is insane. He actually got interviewed and said, "Yeah, man, I think we're going to win 3-0. It's going to be easy. Yeah, man." This is Real Madrid. Who's Real Madrid? Anybody
I honestly
know?
didn't pay the comment any notice, honestly.
Absolutely
when I heard that, I didn't
embarrassing.
pay any
You know,
mind.
talk about what he did
He
after
He went to the
Brighton
changing
game.
room. Yeah, he went into the changing room for an hour with the players. That, I think, that for me is way too hands-on. If you're having to go into the changing room after the game against Brighton to do a pep talk for Real Madrid, that tells me that you're not confident in who you've appointed. Because Lampard, right, the appointment, the interim, should be able to spark life into this team, motivate this team into a performance. But the problem is like I keep saying, this Premier League is not vibes. This Premier League is systematic. It's tactical. It's setups. It's literally, you have to know what you're trying to implement. If you can't implement shit, it doesn't matter how much motivational talks you give because your team will get found out on the pitch. And that's exactly what happened against Brighton. We got absolutely ripped. Did you watch the game, Potts? We got fucked, bro.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
They just did this. They just did this, bro. It's like PlayStation. They just maneuvered the
and
ball
Lampard
around us.
is
It
a
was
joker,
nuts.
man. I
insane.
tipped Everton to go down this season. If they do, I'm not even going to blame Dyche. It's that clown's fault. He's an awful manager. He's absolutely dreadful everywhere he's been. And you might as well have just kept Potter to the end of the season and sack him at the end of the season. If you're going to get this guy in, it's clueless.
He hasn't
this
won his
guy
last 17
has not.
games as a manager, I think.
It's embarrassing. This guy's so
He's
bad.
winning.
Todd Bowley does not know what he's doing. I'm sorry, man. It's absolutely crazy. You've tried to do what everyone else. Oh, let's look at what people are scouting. Let's look at who's good. He's just won the World Cup. Arsenal won 80 million for him. He must be okay. Let's try and get some young players in around, and then we'll put somebody in charge who doesn't know what he's doing. Then what we'll do is we'll sack him, and then we'll give another clown a job who doesn't know what he's doing. You've basically tried to take all of the Ferrari parts from Brighton and built a Ford Focus. That's what you've done. It's just embarrassing, bro.
I think you are.
You
know what?
Man.
He's
trying to be a pleaser.
You are actually very, very lucky that you are on 39 points because otherwise, if you're closer on 33, let's say 36, wow, relegation could be
That's all because of Tuchel. They sacked. They got
Tuchel.
most of them under Tuchel. Who say sacked?
Well, that's the first crazy decision, by the way. Get rid of him. That's the first crazy decision.
But don't you think they should have? They might as well have kept Potter.
I think
Lampard.
the Tuchel's. You know how much I rate Tuchel, right? But Tuchel wasn't perfect. Some of the decisions he was making in the transfer window was going against what I would deem a good decision for the long term. Levi Colwell maybe potentially saying that he could go, bringing in Gallagher to play double pivot in midfield. So I wasn't completely happy with the transfer activity. But when you have a coach that has at least proven himself at the top level, you have to take your time with the sacking of that coach and make sure that your director that you appoint at least is in place to hire the new coach, right? Because that's how you do it in terms of not being backwards and not being so trigger happy to sack someone because you think that you can go and appoint someone when you don't even know the sport. So that was the mistake. It's like Chelsea getting rid of Diego Costa because he's trying to leave the club mid-season in a title race to go to China and saying it was a mistake. It may not have been a mistake if you replace that person correctly. Replacing that person with Potter is where they went wrong. That's where they went left. If they replaced Tuchel with another top manager who had experience at the top level, and it was someone that was appointed by Christopher Vell who they appointed afterwards, then it would have been maybe better. You know what I mean? Then we may have been in a better position, but they decided to go with their own choice, slump a load of money down and got it wrong. So it's not necessarily the issue of them getting rid of him, because I'm not here to sit here and say that he was perfect or that he's, you know, he was going to be here for the long term. There was some things that I loved, and then there was a couple of little things that needed to be ironed out. And obviously their communication, their working relationship was poor. But if you are not going to be able to work with that person, you have to take your time before you fire them. That's the problem. And I think they've been they're clearly trying, but they're trying to people please too much. Whether it's, you know, throwing down loads of money for players, or whether it's hiring a former legend, whether it's making these sackings, whether it's going into the dressing room after they've just had a shouting match with a fan in the stands. Now they're going into the dressing room straight after. Like, it's too much people pleasing, and it's not enough. Just need to calm down now, level out, because it's just too much change. It's too much.
Tobs, would you take Bowley over Levy and Ninic?
I would take the no. I think he's. In fact, that's a difficult one, man. Because I want the money. I want the money every day of the week. I want.
He's
the
a
money.
madman. He don't know what he's doing.
He's absolutely crazy, man. He doesn't have a clue, and I feel like
what good's the money if you're in 12th? Like,
I wish.
We're 11th, mate. We're 11th.
No, 11th. Oh, you'll be 12th after next weekend. Sorry.
No, I think we'll still be 11th on goal difference.
Well, it depends, isn't it? You don't know. You don't know, because depends how many goals you concede and Palace.
We're not playing next weekend. We're not playing. Till,
that's
next Wednesday. It's going to be a great weekend for me because we don't play. Do you know what I mean? We don't play.
What's this? Which thing is this Enzo Fernandez contract extension? What was the point of that? Like, what was that?
FFP. They wanted to amortize the contract.
So he's there till like the 2032 or something, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I'll probably be a dad by the time he's fucking.
Oh my god, that's insane. And that's what I'm saying. We're talking about impossible relegations. Like, this guy's going to keep spending money, and you're just going to get worse. Like, since he come in, like I said, it was the Tuchel, all of that stuff.
But this is why, for all of the reasons that you've just given, right? How hectic it's all been. This is why he needs to take his time with disappointment. And when you're trying to split Nagelsmann and Enrique, it's really difficult. I must say, it's really difficult to pick, because Nagelsmann fits the structure of recruitment with Christopher Vell and who we've got as a director, and that would align with the recruitment and players coming in and working relationships there, people are being on the same page, which is important, because you've already got Todd Boehly disagreeing maybe with Vell. You don't need Enrique disagreeing with both of them, and then it's just three different people having completely different ideas of how to move forward with the club. But then you've also got, can Nagelsmann handle maybe the egos, or will he be able to handle the dressing room and all of these things? Whereas Enrique has maybe got the track record of handling the Messis and the Suarez's and the big names at Barcelona. And yeah, for me, it's tough to split. It's really, really difficult to split. I slightly think Enrique is a little bit more safe, but Nagelsmann can't be disrespected with what he's done at a young age with the winning percentages at Hoffenheim, at Leipzig, at Bayern Munich. So I don't know.
You're very tunnel vision though on the manager. Manager will sort it. Let's get the right manager, That squad's a mess, man. And they're all on massive contracts, long contracts, high wages. Like,
we've not had a serious manager since Tuchel. So I do think a manager is crucial. I do.
It will help.
They're the ones that sell the team. Of course, you still need to sell a lot of players, 100%. 100% you need to sell a lot of players. But
I know Potts needs to go in it, but I fully agree.
I really gotta go.
Later, bro, man.
We'll talk on your show. Hey, part two of Potts.
Part two coming tomorrow, man.
Guys, make sure you subscribe to Potts, guys. Make sure you subscribe.
Come and check it out.
His link is in the description, and he'll be back next week for more in-house fighting.
Get out of here.
Big up, brother.
See you guys tomorrow. Matisse, see you next week, bro. In a bit, chat. Take care, guys.
But yeah, no, I actually agree. I 100% agree with Lawless, because the squad imbalance was an issue under Tuchel. I remember at the end of the summer, I didn't really have a good feeling about Chelsea, but the expectation was you have to finish in the top four because you got Thomas Tuchel and because you spent 280 or something million. But when you actually look at the breakdown of the spend, you're spending crazy amounts of money in certain positions where it's like you've either overpaid or you've just not addressed like your problems. And now I think that issue has been exacerbated by your January. exacerbated by your January spend. So now, like, your squad is so bloated. And the thing is, I can't look at your squad and say this is a bad squad, because when I look at like your centre back options, for instance, I think your centre back options are really good for the next couple of years. I think you got Badiashile, you've got Thiago Silva, you got Fofana, you've got Levi Colwill, who's out on loan as well, and then even Koulibaly, who's been asked this season. I feel like having him in your squad, it's not the end of the world, and you can get rid of him, right? You signed Malo.
Tough to get rid of, man. He's on high wages.
But you signed some good players. You signed some Malo.
Yeah, we have.
He looks good.
I think most of the players are good players. I think there's only a couple of busts.
But no, there's loads of busts. There's loads of busts. And
I think Aubameyang will be a bust. Koulibaly as well, potentially.
You can call Aubameyang a bust because one, you didn't pay that much for Aubameyang, and two, you've not really given him enough game time.
I don't think he's not gonna be part of it next season. So he'll go down as a bust just purely because we wasted our time.
Yeah, but I think with that one, but that's another example of surely you knew what you were buying. You're buying a guy who relies on service, but you give him minimal service. It makes
100%. That's why I didn't want him. I wanted Jesus. So
I look at your attacking options now. You've got Madueke, Sterling, Aubameyang, Fofana, Lukaku, Broya.
Bro, we could have played him at the weekend. We go with 3 wingers up in the front three, bro.
So the squad is too big, it's too bloated, and there are way too many players that are not good enough in this team. There's way too many. There's way too many players that are not good enough that are in this team. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they're not all going to be easy to shift. Like, talk about clear it out. You know what I mean?
Lawless is bang on. I think some Chelsea fans underestimate how hard it's going to be to shift some of these players because they're on big money, right? They're on big wages, and they cost huge sums. So,
and it's been shipped for a while.
I'm not underestimating that.
Chelsea are going to have to seriously cut their losses and be very shrewd in the transfer window. Like Lukaku, for instance, I don't know what you do, Lukaku. You're going to have to take the hit and sell him for like maybe like a 30 or 40 million. You're going to have
30, 40 million. We ain't getting 30, 40 million for him.
Because sorry, my internet.
Is that me or him? Lawless,
no, it's him. It's him.
Yeah, we're not getting 30, 40 million for him. We're not. Europe don't have the money for him at all. There's no way we're going to get 30 to 40 million for Lukaku. We'd be lucky if we got about 20, 25. Considering the season he's had at Inter Milan, most of it he's been overweight or he's been struggling with fitness. He's only just recently started to grab a couple of goals. He's on massive wages of like 325k, so he'd have to take a drop. So for me, that one as well. I mean, you're probably looking at another loan deal, to be honest, where we cover some of the wages. If you're being realistic.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I agree.
I agree.
Yes,
I've had enough. I'm tired now.
And a question for you as well. Because I like him. I think he's a quality player on his day, but I also feel like he doesn't impact the game enough in the final third for the price that he'll cost. Felix, let's talk about him. Because I don't know if Chelsea spending £90 million on him is sensible. I don't think that makes sense, especially after you sign Nkunku as well.
No, it doesn't at the moment.
I don't think this is a good use of Chelsea's money if you go and buy João Felix. I think he's a quality player on his day, but I feel like he's a player that sort of flatters to deceive at times, and I feel like he's a player that you buy when your team's already established, when your team's already put in place, and you need that extra bit of stardust, bang. I feel like when it's more a case of building your squad and players that are going to carry the team, do a lot of the heavy lifting. Yeah, I don't think he's that guy personally. I think with me right now, it would obviously, the manager's not even in. We don't know what system formation we're going to play, so this is all very important before we decide on anyone coming in, not even him. But he would have to have like an incredible end to the season for you to be considering paying that kind of money. He ain't a priority, that's for sure. My priorities would be goalkeeper with Kepa at that situation. My priorities would be a holding midfielder, so Enzo doesn't have to play as a 6. My priority would be looking at the striker position. And my priority would be to get rid of players and sell as many players as possible. So until those situations are resolved,
I'm not really bothered about Felix 100 million, 90 million, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's not a priority. We've got Nkuku coming in. There's loads of other players in the attack that we need to bed in. So we don't really have to buy this player. It's just, this is just like a bonus. I like the player. I like the player a lot. And
you
I
got him on the back of your shirt.
Yeah, and I'm cool with that because I said when he came in, regardless of what happens, I still like the player. He's not going to be able to come in here in this dysfunctional team with no cohesion, no chemistry, no set system in place, no manager in place, and for me to look at him and be like, oh yeah, I don't know why I ever rated this guy. He's got nothing to him. It's no surprise that every single player that's come in, apart from maybe Badiashile and Enzo, all the attackers are struggling. Again, Sterling struggling, Felix struggling. Why? Why are they struggling? Because the team is, as usual, imbalanced. Because the team has no sort of setup in terms of, you don't know what Chelsea are going to do game to game. You don't know what system they're going to play. There's no chemistry. There's no cohesion. It's very chop and change. There's no manager now because, you know, we're basically managerless. So am I surprised that he's not come in here and just been able to carry the team? No, of course not. I'm not surprised. No one's been able to do it. We don't score goals. I think he was the last person to score in open play, to be honest. It was maybe against West Ham, was it? When was the last time we scored an open play goal? We scored from a set piece for Fana, I think. We scored Gallagher, 2, 3, 4 deflections, and it went in. Nobody's doing well. So the fan base, a lot of people are going to Felix and being like, oh, fuck this guy. You know, I can't. But at the end of the day, nobody's playing well. There is no system. Everybody's been shit. So am I surprised that somebody that's just come in is not doing very well? If you go and put him in that Arsenal team in the Jesus position, are people going to tell me that he's not going to play well? I'd be shocked. I think he would play very well in that position.
I feel like you're not as worried about the bigger issue of Chelsea as you should be, because I'm looking at it, right? The fact that you're having to make all these long-term deals to avoid FFP. When we get to next summer now, surely you're going to be expecting then more of the same. So whatever goalkeeper, whatever DM you get, whoever else, long-term contracts to avoid.
No, I think UEFA put a ban on how long the contracts can be now, or they've changed the rules because obviously we kind of found a loophole. I've already said it. Next season, pre-season is going to be a mess. So next season, I'm capping it at top 4. Obviously, you know, when you go from when you're in 11th, you can't even dare think about any more than top 4. Obviously, it depends on the manager.
Even that might be a bit.
Yeah, it will be tough. It will be tough because there's a lot of competition in the league. Newcastle is there. Aston Villa will have a summer window with Emery, you know, and Liverpool will respond, and City and United. It's not going to be easy. But I just know that pre-season is going to be a mess. And all I can hope for is, one, we don't end up traveling the world again and ending up in Wisconsin and Texas and then Miami and then Florida and then New York and then San Francisco. We actually stay to one zone instead of jetting off everywhere because the team apparently this season have not been fit. And then that we actually get rid of a hell of a lot of players. It's going to have to be a fire sale. It's going to have to be... I need about 20 players to leave.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
50, maybe like you need about, what have we got? 35 players. You need to, and there's probably about 5, 6, 7, 8 coming back from loans. You need about 15 sales minimum and some loans.
That you think that's happening? That ain't happening.
I don't know how ruthless they're going to be because they didn't pay for a lot of these players, so they might get, you know, with the Loftus-Cheeks, they might just take quick money.
Yeah, you better be like.
It's gonna have to be like that. Yeah, it's gonna be like FIFA.
Bargain sale.
Accept.
Yeah,
no time unless it's like your Mounts, who's gonna, maybe there'll be a fight for his services if he doesn't sign a new contract. Yeah. Gallagher, there'll be a couple of teams. You might be able to do a couple bidding wars, but a lot of these players, you're just gonna have to just fire sell, bang, out the door. It is.
It's gonna be like
mad, bro.
You're gonna be putting all your crap on your front lawn.
Yeah, bro.
And your neighbors that come there longer. And what's this? Oh yeah, this is a Loftus.
Give us Fofana. We'll take Fofana off your hands.
What, Datro? Yeah, you can have the Datro.
No. Not that one. Not that one. You know which one I'm talking about.
We don't do business with you. Ever since Modric, we don't do business with you.
Yeah, change that. We need a centre back, mate.
All right, well, give us Harry Kane then.
Good one.
We need a striker. Give us Harry Kane. I'd love to see Harry Kane in the team. No? Okay, well then Bye bye. Hasta luego. Do you know what I'm saying?
There you go, little
Adios.
straight swap. That might work. You know what I mean?
But yeah, it will be a car boot sale, bro. But yeah, in terms of am I angry with the ownership? I've always said that them coming into the sport for the first time, I'm not surprised that they fucked up. They've made a few blunders, right? They've learned on the job. I do appreciate the fact that they're trying to do the right things. They're just getting it very wrong, and they're learning the hard way. But they have shown a lot of they're almost doing what a fan would do, right? If you were to load up Football Manager, you'd sack all the staff you don't like, you'd get rid of all the players you don't like, you'd bring in all the players you want. And that's what you would do on Football Manager. That's what you do on FIFA. You do it all in the space of 2 windows. Nobody goes on FIFA with loads of money and says, oh, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to cherry pick, and scout and take a long time to do everything and make sure. Let's be real. When everybody was getting sacked that we didn't like, the scouts, they were getting removed. People that didn't like Marina, she was gone. Everybody was celebrating. So I'm not going to be hypocritical now and be like, oh, can't believe you did that. Can't believe you did this. Can't believe you did that. Because at the end of the day, they were just moving like fans. They had loads of money. FFP wasn't a problem because we had no debt and we just got taken over and we had the sanctions. So we're well clear there. And they just decided that they were just going to try and do everything at once. And they fucked up. The only thing now is that going forward, you need to show that you've learned from your mistakes and that you actually now understand exactly what you need to do to run this in a stable fashion. Don't keep doing what you've done already. You have to learn. You have to understand that, okay, we did that wrong now. And that's why I said them taking time with the management is cool with me to, apart from the fact that we keep losing every game. But because I don't know
whose future is darker, by the way, out of you two. Like when I look at, because I look at it and you think, okay,
yours.
I said out of you two. So
why out of us two? Why not yours?
Because I'm an outside observer looking at it. I said it. So I
ask the question: Is the future bright for you?
Huh?
Is the future bright for you?
The future is undetermined. We've got hope. There's a little sign we could see.
Brother, wait for Moyes to be sacked.
You're gonna lose Declan Rice, but
for a lot of money.
Us losing Harry Kane for a lot of money also.
But you'll still have Levy and Enoch and them people.
And you still have David Moyes.
No, we won't have David Moyes. We won't have David Sullivan. I don't think.
You're going to have David Moyes this summer. Yes, you will.
No, he's gone. He is gone. But I'm asking a serious question here, right? Look, don't worry about us here. We're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to have a trophy. We're going to have a better pool because people want to come and win trophies. But out of you two, because the reason I say this, obviously you are going to lose Kane, who's been a massive part of your team. Probably not going to get top 4. Pool for manager might be a bit tricky, so you're going to have to really take a gamble. But Chelsea are in a bigger mess. Like we're sort of looking at Spurs like, it's going to be tough next season. But Chelsea, I think, are the biggest worry for the future. And next season they're in they can pull bigger managers for sure. They can get a Nagelsmann.
The thing is with Chelsea is like Chelsea, you're right. They are a much bigger mess than Spurs right now. But Chelsea have laid title winning standards over the last 20 years. So they have standards that they will eventually always adhere to. They have standards. Spurs don't have those standards. Yeah. Chelsea, the margin for error is not as big as it is at Spurs, right? Eventually, things will balance out.
Look at Man United; they have standards, but they have the Glazers, who are jokers. They won
league titles under the Glazers. They've won league titles.
But when was that? What? 11 years without a trophy. That's what I'm saying. So,
but the reason why I can say, listen. Bowley's Chelsea is unknown, but if we're talking about Chelsea as a club, as an institution, there is an expectation, and with that expectation, what is that echo?
I don't know.
What is that?
Mate, okay. It's stopped now. Yeah.
And with that expectation comes changes, right? Chelsea know that they know where they want to be. They know where they feel they should be. And they're going to do everything in their power to get back to that position. Can you say the same for Spurs? Can you say that Spurs are going to do everything in their power to become a team that can challenge for major honours? Really?
No, but you could stabilise and still be around them European positions. You won't be
But that's been Spurs for years. That's been Spurs,
yeah, exactly. But Chelsea are more unstable.
Really, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So right now, in the short term, yeah, Chelsea are a bigger mess than Spurs. But in the end of the day, I thought Chelsea were a mess a couple years back when they had the transfer ban. What did they do a year later, a year and a half later? They won the Champions League.
I just think they can do more damage trying to get themselves out of it and spend themselves out of it than Spurs can trying to sign a few odd players in the transfer window to try and improve.
I agree. I fully agree with you, Lawless, on that one. I feel like Chelsea is a very important summer for them because they can't add to the problems. They actually have to get it right in the transfer window this upcoming summer. They cannot afford to have any more anchors because I'm looking at that team now and there's already players straight off the bat like Koulibaly, like Cucurella, where they've, especially in Cucurella's case, where they've overpaid and that's looking like a bust. They're hoping that he turns it around next year, but if he doesn't turn it around next year, that is looking like a humongous bust and they are not even going to get even 80% of that money back.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're gonna come to a close because this team depresses me enough as it is watching them on the weekends. I don't have a game this week, so I can't wait to just enjoy. I actually, do any of us play? Fuck.
You do play this week, so stop chatting shit.
No. We don't play until next. Sorry. Oh shit, we play Real Madrid. Yeah, tomorrow.
Oh,
I'm talking about Premier League though. When's Tottenham's next game?
Newcastle away.
When's that?
Sunday. I will not be watching that game. I'm going to be supporting my friend at the marathon. Don't come to people who are watching this. Don't at me for post-match reaction on the day. I'm not going to be watching. If you want to speak, if you want to hear my opinion, I'll probably speak on my channel the following day. But Spurs, they're not winning that game. I can tell you that for free. That's going to be.
My God, wow. It's going to be beautiful.
Lawless, what about? Well, you got Ghent, yeah. So
we got Ghent, then we got Bournemouth on Sunday. So big week for West Ham. Big week. Let's capitalize. Let's build on the momentum. It's going to be beautiful.
If you get knocked out, I swear to God, it will be absolutely hilarious.
You know what? By the way, Javante made a very good point in the chat. Yeah, he said that if we win it, right, you want to do this whole come on the stream and all this stuff. If we win it, double the money if we win the Conference League.
Why would I do that? You've not bet me all this time. Now you're talking about double the money.
No, because you get the incentive of coming on the stream and clowning us if we lose.
No. What do you mean double the money? I've been telling you, let's put money on it. All through the season, you've been saying no because you were too scared. And now you're talking about double the money. Let's put money on it now.
We're in the
money on it now. Let's put £100 on it now. Go on then.
Listen, no, wait. We're in the business of pleasing the audience.
Coward, man.
No, I'm not. No, it's not even it weren't even my suggestion. It was Javante's.
But you like the suggestion.
I put it forward. I presented it to you.
Okay, so yeah. So if you're saying double your money, then that means that we're putting money down. No.
What it means is, right, if I will say, yeah, if we lose, you come on the stream, yeah? So you coming on the stream.
So wait, if you lose, you don't pay me any money, but if I lose, I have to pay you money.
Yeah, I mean that you clowning me on my own channel if we lose is worth £100.
I want money.
Lawless, let them know where to find you, honestly. You're not getting this one.
I'm getting £100. I don't care. At the Lawless on Twitter, West Ham fan TV. Turkish is in the chat. Shout out to Turkish. Hope you're feeling good, my friend, about the weekend. Cannot believe it. Go and check out the preview I did, box to box with Turkish, and see how we were looking at that game. Look at the title of that game. Saka's going to have a field day. He did not have a field day. He took a field kick for the goal, mate. It was like but shout out to Turkish, great guy.
Turkish is saying that me and Tobs must be tired to take the night off for tonight's show. Mad. Tobs, let them know where to find you. I'll be there, brother. I'll be there. There is a show today. Don't worry.
Tapping Tobs on all socials.
There you go. Very inspiring, of course, because he's so excited to give you more content with his great team this season.
Turkish has just reminded him that he's got a show tonight where he's going to get roasted some more, you know. So
It's a
It's
madness.
just Cody's mood.
To be fair, I don't even know, apart from Saeed and maybe, well, Hugh. I'd say Hugh is the only person. Saeed is, they won against Nottingham Forest. It is what it is. Guys, make sure
Grizz can do it, can he? Grizz?
they got Leeds. We'll see what happens tonight. They got Leeds. Guys, make sure you subscribe, smash up the likes, and we will see you next time. Big up your damn selves. I'll be back with Battle of the North later on. I'm sure that's going to be hell. Hugh will be joining me as well with Hussam and Flawless. So I'll see you guys then. Until then, in a bit, people. Peace.